Hallo meine Lieben, hier ist unser erstes Interview 2014 für unseren kleinen Leise laut Blog und ich sitze hier mit Mahoney aus New York. Hi Caitlin.
Hello, hi. Hello.
How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome. It's great that you could make it. Caitlin ist eine Singer-songwriterin aus New York City und spielt heute im Big Botinski beim Songs and Whispers. I just told them that you're from New York and that you're going to play at Songs and Whispers today.
Yeah.
How did you get to Germany? Like, how did this all come together?
Well, I'm a receptionist during the day for my day job, and so I sent a lot of emails, and one of the emails I sent was to Songs and Whispers to PS Promotions based in Bremen, and Astrid. I don't know how to say her last name. It's very long, but it starts with a D. She's lovely. She emailed me and said they were interested, and that came together in maybe like August, September, and then they put me on the January circuit. So I'm thrilled to be here. I've been here for 4 days so far, so 4 nights of shows, and each one has been different and more wonderful. They've all just been so great. So.
Is this the first time for you in Germany, or have you been to Germany before?
It's my first tour in Germany. I came to Munich for a visit when I was studying abroad in Spain in college, and ended up I actually ended up playing like a set while I was at a hostel in Munich, which was fun. But this is my first official tour in Germany. So.
If you had to describe your music to our viewers, how would you describe it?
I usually say it's folk pop. It's like, it's very acoustic. I love acoustic instruments. I play the acoustic guitar. I just started playing mandolin. So I'm very drawn to those sounds, but I also listen to pop music. I love, just fun dance stuff. And I think my voice lends pretty well to it. So I like to think it's a good combination of those two things. So.
How did you find your love for acoustic music?
I started playing guitar when I was in high school, like 16, 17, and then, I just love, there's one songwriter in the United States, her name's Jenny Lewis, of Kylie, and she has this great folk acoustic album. It's called Rabbit Fur Coat with the Watson twins, and I discovered that when I was in high school, and I just fell in love with those sounds and that kind of rootsy, bluegrass type of sound. So that's kind of how it began. But yeah,
that's how your own music began, right?
Yes, that was when I got the bug. I was like, I want to try writing songs like this. So
have you started learning an instrument as a child, or have you always been very musically inclined, or?
Yeah, I started singing in choir when I was very young, like 5 or 6. And, my mom always jokes that I was like singing before I was speaking. And so I always sang, picked up guitar when I was in school pretty young. And then when I went to college, I guess you guys say university over here. In America we call it college. But I studied classical voice. So that was my first real, music education. And so there's always been some kind of music, but the form that it is now just really kind of emerged in the last 5 years or so.
In your bio, it says that the press release for your EP, right? You can advertise your EP if you want.
Oh yes. I have one EP. It's called West for a While. I released it in April of last year, and it's got 4 songs, and it's on iTunes and Spotify and all of those good places, or you can come to a show and get it there for €5. So
okay, so we got the advertising. What I read was that your music is all about, or that you're about adventures and chaos and love. How do those 3 things actually become one, or influence your music?
Well, I really like to write about the adventure of life, kind of the journey comes out in a lot of my songs. Like West for a While, the title track of the record, is very much about kind of leaving a broken heart behind. Like everybody is going one way, you know, going east, going toward enlightenment. It's kind of playing off of that metaphor where the sun rises. And I was just kind of, you know, metaphorically saying, I'm going to go west. Like, you guys do what's right for you. I'm just going to go a different way for a while and see what that does, you know, see if I can kind of heal and mend my little broken heart that way. And so, yeah, it's usually, that's kind of the adventure that I like to write about, and kind of how that relates to people and life and struggles. And my mom always used to talk about running your own race, and kind of, so the race metaphor comes out in a lot of my songs as well. So.
Right. And how does chaos pertain to all that?
Ooh, well, you'll hear tonight. I have a song called Spin, and that was one of the first songs I wrote after moving to New York. And New York is a crazy place, you know, it's just always going, and it's also very expensive. So in order to pursue something like music, it requires a lot of like day jobs or, you know, making ends meet, and mostly what you spend is a lot of time. Like I feel like I never have any downtime. I always could be doing something, and I'm sure, you know, young people, like we all have that. We're all going after something, but yeah. So Spin is kind of about the chaos. Like I spin and spin around, and then I crash and I fall down, and that's kind of what I feel like I do after a certain amount of just craziness. So yeah, that's where that comes in.
What do you need to write a good song?
Well, usually they kind of come out like when I have just a feeling that I can't get past, like, and then they start to, you know, kind of form after the thought appears. Like, let's see, Wrong off of the record, the second track, it was kind of, I'd had this experience happen a while back, and I was really bummed about it. It was like a little heartbreak. And then a year later, I had a lot of perspective on it, and I got a call from that person, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't have been more wrong about you. I thought you were so nice and good, and I was wrong. And so now I've learned, and maybe someday our paths will cross again. But if we don't, that's okay too, you know. So yeah, usually like just something hits you, and that's how it comes out.
Falls ihr euch gerade wundert, was das da hinten für ein Krach ist, hier ist gerade eine kleine Gruppe Jugendlicher, die super lustig finden, dass wir hier drehen, aber macht euch keine Sorgen darum. I just told them they're really interested in what we do.
Oh! Hey! I like how they knocked on the window too, like, hey!
It's like, what?
They're getting their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, they do. Well, what's your main inspiration when you write, or when it comes to music?
It kind of comes in different forms. A lot of times it's love, you know, a lot of times it's relationships, and but sometimes it's just like something like I read, you know. One of the tracks off of the EP is called Devil on the Side, and that was based off of the book The Help. I don't know if you've heard of that. It became a movie later. It's a great book. Loved reading it. Like, I ate it up. I just tore through it in a couple of days. And one of the lines is someone's describing that they really want something to happen, and they're praying to the Lord and the devil on the side. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that would be a great way to say that you really like someone, and you know, or you want them. So that's kind of a cheeky way that I turned that into a song. So yeah.
Okay, you live in a city, and well, New York has a really, really big singer-songwriter scene, and there's so many people. What do you think makes you stick out, or that you are invited to Germany and others aren't?
Oh man. Well, I think it might be my email skills. No, just kidding. I don't know. It's been very interesting to compare the show experience, the live experience in New York versus over here, like United States versus here. Things that work over there don't really work as well over here, and things that work over here would like never fly, you know.
What exactly? What some examples?
So a lot more listening over here, and I think that's because of the language. So seemingly most people speak English over here and understand what I'm saying and singing. But I think because they have to work a little harder, they pay more attention to the words and take them in and like seem to receive them more, which is fun for me because I love words and writing. So in New York, but I think probably what makes me stick out in New York is that I'm so not from New York. Like I grew up in Florida in the South, which they're known for being very cheery and outgoing, and everyone in the South says hello to you, And in New York, it's very like time is money. Everybody is busy, and so I think I like to laugh a lot, and I think maybe that cheery disposition makes me stick out a little bit, for better or for worse. Everyone's like, something's off about you. You're too happy. So I think that might be it.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I like that you're so happy.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I read that you played a Rockwood Musical. Für euch, die das nicht kennen, Rockwood Musical ist ein ganz bekannter Club in den USA, und jeder, der es irgendwie in New York geschafft hat, hat irgendwann mal auf dieser Bühne gespielt. I just told them that almost anybody who's made it played at Rockwood at some point.
Yes,
so
Rockwood.
At least that's what it feels like to me, like from far away.
Have you ever been?
I haven't been.
Okay, well
but
you
I
must
will go there.
Yes, you must go to New York, and you must go to Rockwood. I am a huge Rockwood fan. I actually live pretty close to there, so I feel like I live at Rockwood. I could go every night and see a great band. It's cool because it kind of levels the music field. Like, someone who is really big, like you mentioned Ari Hester or Nora Jones plays there, Elizabeth in the Catapult plays there all the time. I think because they started there when it started, they're so loyal to it. And I had my record release in the stage 1, so there's 3 stages now. Mm-hmm. It started with just 1 stage, I think, and then they made a smaller stage, or maybe they made a bigger. I wasn't there before, but now they have 3 stages, so they all have a different feel. Like, one is a big, kind of like the Big Batinsky, like, lots of people can fit in there. And then one is smaller, so it's a little more intimate, and that's where I had my record release. Probably like 80 people can fit in there, and we were lucky to pack the place, so that was fun. But it's a lot like, actually, I was thinking the Big Batinsky kind of reminds me of it. It's just about the music. Mm-hmm. People go because they know there's going to be good music there, even if they don't know the band. And it just kind of levels the field as far as music goes in New York. Like, everybody's playing at Rockwood, whether you're a rock band or a singer-songwriter or a jazz trio, or, everybody comes through there because Ken Rockwood and his team are so about the music. So I'm a huge fan. I think everyone should go. I think you should go to New York and definitely go see Rockwood. You will love it.
I really want to go. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, that's funny you mentioned that, because they just emailed me to get back in there. So I'll be playing there again in March. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. It's fun. It's a good spot. It's a good spot. So.
That's my last question. What's your biggest goal, your dream? What do you want to achieve with your music?
I would love for it to connect with people. I think that's been really fun about this trip, is kind of watching people really take it in and appreciate it. As far as for me, I would love to just keep loving it as much as I do now. I'm having a ball. It's fun to write, it's fun to sing, it's fun to record, and as long as it's fun, I'm going to do it. And it's a great excuse to see the world, so. Yeah.
That's a perfect answer.
Yeah,
perfect ending, I think. Great. Well, thanks for the interview, and I hope you're going to have a great show.
Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.